a small reading from the bottom of page 70 through page 71 of the book. And it goes like this. In this book, you read again and again that faith did for us what we could not do for ourselves. We hope you are convinced now that God can remove whatever self-will has blocked you off from Him. If you have already made a decision and an inventory of your grosser handicaps, you have made a good beginning. That being so, you have swallowed and digested some big chunks of truth about yourself. So, Paul, I read this with a friend, Nina, probably about 25 days ago. And we were talking about it back and forth. And something that really hit us hard was that on the one of the last lines, it says an inventory of your grosser handicaps. And was able to put together that being driven by self is a handicap. And it's just described right here on the pages. So I'll open it up with you from there. And it's just a little something that I picked out on that. So thank you for letting me host.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hey, thank you, everyone. And just like Michael saw something different than he had seen before, this is what happens with an understanding. It can give you new eyes to see the same thing differently. Yeah. So as you go through the book, more other stuff will be emphasized. And it's not negating what was emphasized before, but it will add on to it. Yeah. Like it says, we know but a little. This thing is going to constantly reveal to us. How does it reveal to us? Through the same book in one sense, yeah, but by seeing it differently. Yeah. So I like the whole thing with this. In this book, you read again and again that faith did for us what we could not do for ourselves. So a lot of times we say the higher power has done for us what we cannot do for ourselves. So in a sense, maybe the higher power is also faith, yeah? And so our activity of we're not putting faith in something, something's putting faith in something, yeah? So the head puts faith. Faith is like a neutral power. It's going to manifest by what's directing it, so to speak, or where it's directed to. So we have an experience, I think every one of us, what faith has done to us through the ideation of the thoughts in one's head, yeah? The thoughts, the self-centered thoughts, and let's call them alcoholic or addictive thoughts, whatever you want to name it. But faith in those thoughts produced decisions based on self that set off a lot of trains of circumstances that brought us and other people misfortune, yeah? But what actually did that was faith. So there's faith, neutral in a sense, and it's going to manifest by what it's put in and what's directing it. So when the head directs the faith into the thought system, we start now living in a world of what's not happening really. So we're in a moment today, but we're thinking about moments in the past and the future. Yeah. And the thoughts about the past and the future, and they're not ours, the thoughts about the past and the future seem to be overriding our presence of the day. And it says right here, we hope you are convinced now that God, or let's say faith, can remove whatever self-will has blocked you off from Him. Yeah. When do you feel like you're blocked off by this power? When there's faith in the thoughts, yes? When the faith in the thoughts and its forecasts and how it's being presented and the critiques and the on and on and on and on and on, the effects are measured by the faith that's put in it, really. Yeah. So if there's a large amount of faith in the thoughts, you're going to be experiencing a lot of mental anxiety, really based on entertaining what's not happening. Yeah, it's a clear diagnosis. Yeah, but what's the diagnosis is a good understanding, but what's causing the effects is faith. Yeah. So faith in self brought about doing things that we would never have done by ourselves. Yeah. Faith in higher power, or faith, what we is now, faith did for us what we could not do for ourselves. Well, faith in the head did through us what we would never have done by ourselves. Yeah. The engine that drove both, no matter how different the effects are, it was the same engine, which is faith. Faith put into the thoughts have produced a lot of effects we would never have done by ourselves. Just like faith in the higher power is producing effects that we couldn't do for ourselves. Yes? Faith, yeah, is the one constant. What it's put in seems to be different. And therefore, the faith produces different effects by what it's put in. Yeah, there's a pretty clear diagnosis. Yeah. So tell the truth. If that which is playing God is not God, how can it play God? It must get God from us. Yeah. It must be given the faith from us by its constantly presenting itself as us. When are you going to see it's not you? Isn't it funny when you're having a great day, but it isn't? The head is telling you you're entering a lifelong depression, and you're in a pretty nice day. It's sun out. You're feeling pretty healthy. All the joints are working, shit like that. Yet the head is completely obsessed over a different condition than the one you're actually in. It's trying to promote something to us so that we can forget our us and remember self. Really, I mean, it's just amazing. There's so much power going on, but to me, in a sense, as being the end product of it, it seemed to be a lot of misuse of power. Yeah, making shit out of nothing. If that power is turned over to something, man, it's going to make a lot out of this life. And you're going to see, no matter how far down you went down the scales, your life is going to be valuable to others. You're going to see everything differently, not by trying to see it differently. But this loss of interest in self, which is the program's process, is going to produce seeing things differently, because you're not going to look at it just completely through the lens of self. You're going to have another option. Now, you may keep hearing the daily reports from self, but you're also getting another message that you are now conscious of. You are now conscious of a presence. You feel a new power flow in. Yeah, you've accessed another power source. And what happens? That power has a completely different effect. Instead of driving you to the store to buy a fucking half-gallon thing of vodka, it drives you to the meeting to be available to other people who suffer from the same fucking thing. Yeah, you're gonna be driven here. We're driven all freaking day. Yeah, we're like a timeshare car. I remember when I was in Hamburg, it was the first time I saw it. My friend who was younger, he had it all wired where he could look on an app and we'd see where a car was available right where we were. We'd get in the car, drive to another place, leave that car, leave the restaurant, look for another. And so we drove like 5 or 6 cars in the same day. Yeah, because he had the app. He could access. He would find out where they were right nearby. We walk out of the restaurant, get into another BMW. And it was great. I never saw that before. Well, something has an access to us with untreated alcoholism. And the funny thing is, there's a huge fleet of us, but we're driven to the same 3 parking spaces. And we're still not getting it. We're still not getting it. That a singularity has driven the plurality to the same three destinations, institution, jails, or death. Yeah? When do you get it? It's not you. You're not cooking up your own demise. You're not. You're not fueled with self-hatred. You don't hate yourself. You're not your own worst enemy. You're not. These are mental conditions. And that mental condition must be pretty damn severe if you're believing that you hate yourself. That is fucking unbelievable. Yeah. That you're your own worst enemy. You're down at, you're up the ass of self, man. You need a divine proctologist, and our door is open Tuesdays and Thursdays, 10:30 Pacific time. And we will happily pull you out of your ass and keep pulling you out of your ass until you recognize it's nice to be out of your ass. Yeah, just keep coming back. You're going to be pulled out of your ass here. That's the way. This is divine proctology. Yeah, no charge necessary. Just a little attention, just to listen, just maybe not to have contempt prior to investigation. Do you believe you defeated you, or did something else defeat you? It's that simple. When people call me up and get on me, oh, you're making it very complicated. Is that complicated? Have you defeated you, or has something else defeated you? And if that something else has defeated you, is not you, can you be free from it? Yes. If that something else has defeated you and you keep living as if it's you, can you be free from it? No. You're going to try to be free as it. What's going to be the problem? Self can't get out of self. Yeah. Now reverse engineer it. Self can't get out of self explains the underlying exact nature of the wrong. We're listening to the head, and the head is in the act of being identified as what we call self. So we're listening to a critique and a narration about a life based as self. If we're believing it, we're going to try to be free as that which his life is based on, which is self. And we're going to run into the conundrum, self can't get out of self. There you go. Is that a complex fucking equation? It took 2 minutes, a minute and a half. Got to quit playing God. Have you tried to do that? Yes. Has it worked? No. Why is that? Because you're not that which is playing God. What? Yeah. If you lose interest in that which is playing God, its ability to play God on your ass will get severely limited. Yeah? Why? How's that? Its weakness is based on my loss of interest in it. Well, wait a minute. So its strength was based on my extreme interest in it. Yes. What's that called? Obsession with self. Yes. What are we examples of? Extreme obsession with self. Yes. You want to reverse engineer it all? We can reverse engineer it all here. It comes to a simple thing. Are you that which has defeated you, or are you not? If you're not, and you look at its inventory on page, the 4th step inventory, and it is its inventory, we're taking an inventory on self, you will see self's manifestations have defeated you. You have not defeated you. Something other than you has defeated you. That's simple, isn't it? Yes, very. That's the hope. That's hopefully the logic that we inject into your program of recovery. So you'll see every step in a different light. You'll see it from the light of maybe, hopefully, the exact nature of the wrong. And I humbly believe, and I'm a recipient of the effect of it, that you will travel lighter in your own life. No matter what your life has in store for you, you will travel lighter through it. Yeah. There you go. Self has defeated us. Find out about self, realize it's not you, and you'll truly find out about us. Yeah. Trying to find out about us from self is just more self. Yeah. Self-knowledge avails you nothing. Knowledge of self is very valuable. Yeah. Just a way of looking at it. Is your way of looking at it working? Truly? Are you still gripped with anxiety after 12 years of sobriety? Can you tell the difference between what's not happening and what's happening? If that's still blurry, yeah, the parasite is scrambling all the messages. It is. It does not want you to see your role in things. It wants you to see others' role in things. Why does it not want you to see your role in things? Because you will see its role in things. Simple as that. Why do you love taking inventories almost just automatically on every fucking person you've met in your life, but you can't take an inventory on your own self? You go for months dragging your fucking foot around. Why is that? You love taking, your head loves taking inventories. What, but it doesn't like to take one on you. Why? Why is that? Yeah. If you ever wondered, when you're sitting in a meeting, do you choose to judge that person who walked in? No, you judge the person that walked in. That's the way the head works. Yeah. And then the beautiful thing is those people that have been judged by almost everyone who probably was sitting in the room will say, I feel great in this room because something bigger than all of us individually is promoting the love and tolerance of the meeting. We're not truly. We're judging the person probably, but because we're in a collective condition, then the us overrides the self. Yeah. And then a loving presence expresses itself through us. Yeah. So people, oh, I feel so accepted here. Everyone's judged the fucker when they walked in, what they're wearing or whatever. Yeah. But that judgment gets overridden by something. Yes. The higher power. You feel it in a meeting. Wouldn't you like to feel it throughout your day? The possibility, the feeling you feel at a meeting when you feel better is possible throughout the day. It's just a free sample. Yeah. You lose interest in self. And it's a practice of losing interest in self a meeting, isn't it? Other people talk a lot at other meetings, not like this one. Other people talk a lot and you listen to them. Yeah. That's what was weird when I went to Zoom meetings, because you could mute somebody. You could get up and drink or make, do your laundry or iron and stuff. And I said, man, I like live meetings. And I remember I used to get upset when people would be on their phone during a live meeting and then share and then go back on their phone being a live meeting. Yeah, it just would upset me. Yeah, because I felt, let's honor what's going on here. It wasn't the person that was talking, it was the spirit in the room. That spirit saved our lives. Yeah, so you can have that sense all the time. And then you won't go into the meeting to get something, you'll just go into the meeting. And you'll be used somehow. Yeah. Maybe you'll be used putting up chairs. Maybe you'll be used, someone hasn't seen you in a while. Maybe you'll be used, who knows, but you will be used. And it feels good, doesn't it? Yeah. Wouldn't you like to have your life, your day feeling good when you're used by something other than self? Do you feel good all the time being used by self, or you feel fucking guilty or some shit going on, or you're going back to something that probably never even happened and ruminating over it all day? It's insane. It is. It is. So this is the platform. We're humbly presenting the exact nature of the wrong and just defining a one clear boundary. It's not you. That's all. What's hating you isn't you. What's your worst enemy isn't you. Yeah. Therefore, a possibility is available, which is not available when you take it to be you. And that possibility is I can be free from it. Yeah. That's not a prayer. You arrive there. A possibility, rich and fucking ripe. I can be free from it. And so it is. Yeah. To the point that the problem will not exist for you today. Hallelujah. What more do you want? Literally. You want parades thrown for you and stuff? The problem will not exist for you today. You can get on to some glorious shit when the problem doesn't exist for you. You can get on with doing nothing and incredible stuff goes on. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm happy to be here. We come from the same fucking ass. Yeah. We've all been up the same fucking ass. There is a solution up the ass. It includes the problem. That's not the solution we want. Yes. I, as the problem, do not want to be the one who's sober. I want to see that which has defeated me is not me, so I can be free from it today. Yeah, very clear boundary. It may talk as me, it may think it's me, it may feel like it's me, and it's not me. Hallelujah. Yeah, yeah. So I'm stoked and yeah. Yeah. All right, Michael, that's about it, I guess. Great read.
Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah, thank you. All right, people, if we have any questions or any comments that you'd like to make on regarding the reading, or if any questions for Paul on the 12 steps, please feel free to raise your hand. Anybody? Quiet crowd today, Paul.
Great, great. Let me read that thing. Let me see if I have it on, I've lost most of the book now. Can you go to page 53, Mike, and read the thing about faith?
You got it.
This is, I think it's 52, 53, bottom of 52.
and 53.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the bottom of 52 or 53.
That was natural, but let's think a little more without knowing. Okay, that's at bottom of page 53. That was natural, but let us think a little more closely. Without knowing it, had we not been brought to where we stood by a certain kind of faith? For did we not believe in
just stop there, Mike. Let's just dwell on every sentence. So without knowing it, we've been brought to where we are right now by a certain kind of faith. He was describing about pitiful, incomprehensible sort of demoralization. But right now, whatever state we're in, it has been brought about by a certain kind of faith. This is what they're putting out in the big book of AA. Yeah. They're trying to describe how life works in a way. Yeah. And he's really emphasizing faith, this power. Yeah. All right. So that first sentence, without knowing it. So this is the condition most of us are in. We don't know what's going on. Yeah. So without knowing it, where we are right now was brought about by faith. Pretty incredible statement. Can you read the next sentence, Mike? Thanks. I don't have it in the book here.
So the next sentence is, for did we not believe in our own reasoning?
There you go. So now we're getting to the, we're sitting and getting the diagnosis out of the book, right? We walked in to the diagnostic room, and hopefully we're malleable, and they tell us without knowing it, Paul, where you are right now has been brought about by a certain kind of faith. Okay, so now read that second sentence again.
For did we not believe in our own reasoning?
All right, so the faith has been in the reasoning or the thoughts, yes? Okay, so now before you take your pants off and put your little gown on, you don't have to do that. It's just going to explain the situation. Your ass has been visited way too much anyway. So, yep. And this is the situation. Faith in the reasoning. What is reasoning? Thinking, yes? So there's been faith in reasoning. So they're now reverse engineering the predicament you think you're in. Let's say pitiful, incomprehensible demoralization, irritable restlessness, whatever it is, has been brought about by a certain kind of faith. And that faith, yes, it manifested by the vehicle it's put in, which is reason or thinking, yes? So we're believing our own thinking, the thinking, and this is the cause of the dilemma we're in. Okay, can you go to, sorry to do this, but I don't have the book. The next sentence.
This is great. Did we not have confidence in our ability to think?
There you go. They believe we did, so they're just asking us, yeah? Because without knowing it, they're going to ask us so we can answer the question ourselves. Did we not? Yes. Yep. Okay. If you look at your life and you're open to seeing it in a new way, you're probably going to willingly and happily admit this. Yes. Okay.
What was that but a sort of faith?
Yes. What was that but a sort of faith? To me, faith is a force. It's neutral. It's going to be given meaning by the whatever it's put in. Yeah. So there's faith in reason, and we've experienced the results of what can happen when there's faith in reason. Yeah. And it has brought us to the situation that we find ourselves. Okay. Yeah. Next one.
Yes, we had been faithful, abjectly faithful to the God of reasoning.
Can anyone give us the definition of abjectly?
Yeah.
It means a whole lot. So what is it?
Utterly hopeless, miserable, humiliating, or wretched.
All right. Abjectly. Wow. So that's amazing, eh?
Yeah.
So the faith in this form of reason has really produced some claustrophobic effects, yes?
Yes.
Yeah. Where does it say you did any of this?
It does.
It doesn't, does it?
No.
It says you are the expression of it in a way, but it's faith that has done this. You, we're not mentioned there yet.
Right.
Are we?
Not at all.
He's describing faith.
Right.
Faith as us. Yeah. It's important. Yeah. So you, whatever that idea of you is really held up by faith. Yeah. And what holds up that idea or image of you is the thought system. Faith in the reasoning gives us you and me as we were or as it sees us to be. So a lot of people still think they're fucked after they've been sober for quite a while because they're still listening with faith to that old station. Yes. Yeah. All right. Next sentence, if you don't mind.
So in one way or another, we discovered that faith had been involved all the time.
Bingo. Yeah. So all the time, what does that mean? All the time.
Yeah.
Is there any time that's not captured by the statement all the time?
No.
No. So basically, all the time, what was it again, Mike? That
faith had been involved all the time.
all right. So now, if there's book thumpers and stuff like that who believe the book, well, yeah, read that. It just gave you the whole situation without mentioning us at all, because it doesn't have a lot to do with us. It has a lot to do with faith and what the faith is in. Yeah. Yes or no? Yes.
Yes.
And so, do you want to administer, which you can anyway, or distribute the faith, or are you more an expression of how the faith is distributed?
Expressed.
Yes, yes, yes. Perhaps there's a better way. Faith or trusting, instead of trusting finite self, which they just described, yeah, we're going to trust the infinite. There's no mention of Paul, it's trust. Yeah, perhaps there's perhaps there's a better way. Trusting the infinite rather than finite self. It doesn't say we trust the infinite, trusting the infinite. Faith in the infinite instead of faith in finite self. There you go. And do you see that when you try to trust the infinite as self, that's faith in finite self? Now you have a pretty good diagnostic tool, yeah, don't you?
Yeah.
Without knowing it, we now know what we were at the effect of without knowing it. We now know it. It's been revealed. It's in page 52, 53. They're going over it with us, yeah? That it's faith in the thought system that has brought about to the condition we seem to be in right now, yeah? Now, we would like to see that changed, but if we're identified as that which is producing the great desire or the need for things to change, not much is going to change, is it? Self cannot get out of self. Faith in self cannot get out of faith in self. If you tell the truth, you're not that, you're going to lose interest in it. And faith is going to will be available to go somewhere else. And instead of enslaving you, that faith will enrich your day. How about that? Not bad, eh? Same faith. We have not been mentioned at all.
Right.
We are one aspect of an activity that thinks it's the whole aspect. Yeah. We're one aspect of an activity that's driven by faith. Yeah. Faith is what brings shit into manifestation, tell you the truth. Yeah. For a dream to seem real, there must be faith in it. Yeah. When we're asleep at night and we're in a dream, there's faith in that dream. When we wake up and now our faith is in the morning, we see the dream as a dream, don't we?
Yes.
But when we're sleeping at night, there's no morning. So the faith is in the dreaming. So we're there. If there's a tiger in the dream, we're scared shit. Yes? But when there's a waking up called the morning, we lose faith in the dream at night. Yes? Because now the faith is fueling the day. This is a description of a life run and lived by faith. We're just trying to show it. Yeah. When you're dreaming at night, does it seem real? It sure does. Because you're there. Faith. Yeah. Not you as Paul. You're one of the characters, but there's faith in that dreaming. Yeah. Seems as real can be. Then an event occurs called waking up in the morning. The faith shifts into the day. We believe I live in Novato. There's a dog. I'm a body. I got this. Yes? And therefore, the faith is subtracted out of the dreaming at night and now is put into the awake dream. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, for the awake dream, we don't have a morning. We don't wake up from the awake dream. We need to wake up, which is what's called the spiritual awakening in recovery. We need to wake up to the daydreaming. Yeah. And how do we wake up to that? See that faith is what's moving things. We're not. We're a thing that faith moves. We're not moving shit. Yeah. We're in a dilemma of powerlessness because we think we should be able to do a lot of shit we can't do. Yeah. This is just getting things clearer. Just simple. Simple, simple. If you're a believer in the big book, then you must believe that wherever you are right now is brought about by faith. That's what it says in the big book. Yeah, it does. Does it not? It just said that. Faith has been doing shit all the time. Why did you, don't you believe that that could unlock a lot of doors? Because you think you're doing shit a lot of the time. Yeah. Yeah. That you're the big mover and shaker. And everyone on the highway thinks they're the big mover and shaker. That's why there's multiplicity of resentments of other drivers. Because everyone thinks they got the most important agenda and they should be able to get in the fucking speed lane without any fucking Prius stopping them. Yeah. And they have such a sense of entitlement. They've had faith and it's brought about having an Audi or a fucking Tesla. And they demand the Prius unspeakingly to move. Yet faith has brought about the whole event. What? Yeah. When you're sleeping at night, does it feel like it's true? Of course. Why? Faith. That faith is withdrawn from the night dream when you wake up to the daydream. Yeah. And you have more faith in the daydream because in the daydream, while you're dreaming, it seems very convincing. It overrides the faith in the dreaming at night. Yeah. But what would happen if you never woke up? That dreaming at night would be the reality. Yeah. Because faith would be abiding there. Yeah. Can you do anything with this information? No, except take a posture of humility. Yeah. And exalt in something is doing for you what you can't do for yourself and expand on what you can't do for yourself. That seems wise, eh? I don't know. You want to fight it? Go ahead. I don't care. I can't. Yeah, just put it out there. We did not, did we add any word or subtract any word from that paragraph in the book?
None. No.
Did we massage it or alter it? No. We just read it from a different view. Yeah.
Yeah.
Emphasizing faith and not emphasizing us.
Yeah.
And then you see, we're not using faith to move mountains. Yeah. We're a mountain that's faith's moving. We're a mountain of data and self-importance. So, yeah.
So, Paul, let me cherry pick the next paragraph. Just the last two. Last paragraph. It was impossible to say we had no capacity for faith or love or worship. In one form or another, we had been living by faith and little else.
Yes. There you go. It's right in the big book. When do we have a fucking seminar on that? It's the blood and the pumping of it. it's most important. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's faith is going to manifest by the vehicle it is put in. Yeah. We have lived under a vehicle that faith has been put in, which is reason, the thought system. And it's gotten a lot heavy. Yeah. Even though we're relieved of a lot of the predicaments it would produce, we're still being antagonized by it. Yes. Because we have faith in the thoughts. We have faith in its data. We believed we did those terrible things. So we're not actually let out of jail yet. And I don't see the mental state having any statute of limitations. I don't. It seems to go over fucking cold files from 40 years ago.
Yeah.
So if you want to live in that judicial system, then go ahead. But I'm just visiting. I'm just sharing with you. Yeah. So I'd like to see more of us out of there. Yeah. Can you imagine not being forgiven for something you didn't even do for 50 years? You have to realize there's no logic in it. It's how it lives. It lives by remembering you as what you're not. Yeah. While it wants to forget your present tense state. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't want to see the movie. It wants singular pictures that it can paste and sequence to tell a story. The same old, same old. Yeah. Yeah. So faith is up for grabs. The thought system is in the habit of having it come its way. That can change. Yeah. Maybe by blowing up the bridge of stop calling them yours, and see them as thoughts. It'll be much easier. Yeah. Truly. The my is a feeling of the movement of faith. Yes. It's a distorted meaning given to the movement of faith. We call it ours. Yeah. And now we're bound to that ours. Yeah. Remember the joy of getting your toy, and yet the incredible sorrow when you lost your toy?
Yeah.
It seemed to be a lot worse when you lost your toy, and it was just better when it was just a toy that was shared and shit. Yeah. But my is the signature of faith being moved. Yeah. Faith being delivered. So my problem, that problem has faith in it now. Yeah. My thoughts, those thoughts have faith in it. Yeah. If you want to see the supply line, that's the supply line. Stop calling resentments yours. This is an act you can get into. Stop calling it mental anxiety fear, first of all. It's not fear. It triggers a sense of fear, but it's mental anxiety. Be clear of the diagnoses, really. Yeah. And the harms you did in the pursuit of what you wanted was self's pursuit of what it wanted. And it has no concern about running over other people's toes. Yeah. Because it lives in a constant state of fear of losing what it has or not getting what it wants. You are not afraid of losing what you have and not getting what you want. The head is afraid of losing what it has and not getting what it wants. There is a distinction. You can't live as self. Yeah, from self. You're not going to get into the from self. You're not. I've been around 35 years in recovery. I completely believe Self can't get out of self is the locks of all our prison cells, really. We keep trying to get out of something as that something. It doesn't need a lock. It doesn't need a door. We lock ourselves in. We don't, the head does. And we're living as if it's true. Yeah. So there's a lot of people, canaries in the coal mine. Yeah. This is what we do. We try to share a note that you haven't heard in a while. You can be free from this. There is a solution. Yeah, I do not believe you hate you. I do not fucking believe that. I just do not believe it. The head can, for sure. I do not. No, no way. I'm my own worst enemy. That's a bad position to be in. Really, that's not a working situation. You know what I mean? You're not going to be looking forward to every next 24 hours with that condition in place. You'll look for some kind of distraction, cigarette, extra donut, drinking, something. So, all right, anyone has to share? I think someone's in here. Dana would like to share, and Tom from Denver.
Yeah, Dana, you've been so patient. Thank you for waiting. Come on in. Thank you.
Hi, I hope everybody's doing well. You can come in.
Hi, Dana.
Oh,
Hey,
you know,
Dana?
yes. You know what? I can't talk. I'm sorry. I just want you to know that I've not been around visibly, but I've been going through all your stuff, Paul. I think I've listened to all there is to listen to. And I've really enjoyed a lot of it. I like the story about the ducks.
The duck?
Yeah, if it walks like a duck.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Non-duality.
Yes.
They are non-duality.
Yes.
They're like little kids.
This is when you walk like a duck, you talk like a duck, sing like a duck, you're not a duck. That's non-duality. You learn all about a duck and it brings you to the realization you're not a duck. It's not.
Right.
Yeah. Trying to avoid being a duck is the most being a duck there is. Non-duality removes that burden. You're not a duck. Yeah. Yeah. Hallelujah.
Thank you.
All right, honey, get on with your nephew or your somebody, one of your guys.
Okay. Okay.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.
Thank
All
you,
right,
Dana.
Tom
Hey, Tom.
in Denver.
Hey, Paul, good to be here today. And I just turned 70 years old and they put this thing on my cake. It's the action figure.
Oh,
It's a
great.
kid doll.
I like it. I got a couple here.
And yeah, I don't think they knew what they couldn't call it an action figure. They were just taking off on the Barbie movie with the Ken guy. But I've got a question. And I would do the same question if I was at a regular AA meeting. And it's really a practical application of what you're talking about today. I'm following it. And I have followed it for quite a while. But in about half an hour, I'm going to get in my truck and drive down to my brother's house. And there's his kids and a new grandson I've never met coming from California. And I haven't seen him. And, you know, when I met you about a year ago, I just broken up with my girlfriend. I've had like 5 major relationships in sobriety that didn't work out. And my brother's a good Christian man that's married for 50 years or something. And so there's even though I've heard all the words and recognized I'm not this, there's a knot in my stomach about going down there and have the questions about what happened and the fear of being judged. And okay, I know I'm not supposed to have that fear, that I'm supposed to replace it with this faith in some higher power.
No, you're not.
But the knot in my stomach doesn't go away.
No, Tom, it's not about you not having the fear. It's about you are not having the fear.
So I
The
that all
action
works.
figure, put up the action figure right now. Put up that action figure doll. Bingo. That is what's having the fear. Yes.
Got
And
it.
Tom can be excited while that Tom is having the fear. And Tom knows that you just suit up and show up and let go of the result and just show up. And I bet you you'll come back here on Thursday and you'll say you had a fucking great time. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there seems to be a place in AA where we need to admit that we're frightened or something like that to get to release it or to let go of it or to shift, which I just did.
Well, you now have your own voodoo doll. Just put it into Tom, the action figure. And let Tom will Tom will be paralyzed by fear and won't move unless you move. So there you go.
The whole thing is so silly.
Probably, sometimes I just don't believe we're very good I don't believe the head is good at recognizing feelings. So there may be a little what it calls fear. There's probably a lot of excitement about seeing your brother and the kid you've never seen before. So yeah. This is why AA just tries to, just show up prior to contempt, prior to investigation. Just drive down there and see if it goes, and then you can go over the results after the results are in, not as a fucking soothsayer trying to forecast the results. You'll just go there and then tell me if the results are the exact same as the mental forecast. No, they won't.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
just, it's like you don't even have to break the imaginary back of it anymore. It's obvious. It just doesn't work. You've seen it enough to know it doesn't have a clue of what's really going on. And just get in your truck and enjoy the drive and go see your godson or whatever it is, godchild, grandchild.
Grandchild. Yeah.
Yeah, shit, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to just throw it out there and put myself on the table, so to speak. And I bet there's a bunch of people here that can relate to it.
I'm going to send you some pins. You're going to use your Tom doll. Yeah. All your anxiety and fear is going to be fucking metaphysically through the pin put into the doll. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And then the doll, put it in its corner and it'll be paralyzed. It won't move. Filled with fear while you go fucking have a nice day.
Great. That's
Yeah.
great. I'm glad I said something. Thanks.
Yeah. What's going to happen? Let's say the head gets anxious about every ball game. So, and you feel like you should call the game before you even start because it's going to rain. What happens? You just fucking keep playing. Yes. Yeah. You find that space of fear doesn't take up all the other space. There's tons of space that's not filled with anxiety and fear. And you can breathe while you come out of that ass of anxiety and fear. Take a nice deep breath because there's a lot of fucking good quality all around this little mental activity. Yes. Yeah. You can drive while under fear. You can have a good day under fear. You can see different results happen quite a lot other than what was foretold by the fear. Yeah. Yes. Don't give it that much credit. You don't even have to write about it anymore. Just fucking live under it, live over it, live around it. Yeah. It's our power. It's trying to attract. It's faith. Faith in mental anxiety mimics the sense of fear. That's what it does. Yeah. People who have panic attacks are in an incredible level of fear, yet it's not apparent to anyone in the same situation. So it's not happening in the world, it's happening in the head. And I imagine there's a lot of faith involved, and that faith in the head is producing a huge sense of fear from mental anxiety. I've had someone have a panic attack right next to me in the same car, in the same front seat. It wasn't a bench seat, it was two. So it could have been a different seat, but we had two seats, and we were ready to go, and a person just fell into whatever they call that, a fear thing. And I watched it, I watched her facial expression, her breathing got shorter and stuff like that. And then she made it worse because, oh, Wilson, it seemed unbearable, but I've got to go. I said, no, we're not going to go. We turn the car, get her out, she thinks like, oh, I have to go through. No, fucking take a break, and then it passed in a few minutes and there you went. Yeah. Yeah, it didn't leave any mark. It, shook up her system, and she had been shaken up many, many times in her life. But the resilience of what's existing as us can shake off all that shit. Yes, just don't give it too much name or form. Don't call it yours, and you'll fucking be able to live out from underneath it. If you keep calling it down from its imaginary loft and giving it a real meaning, you're going to get stuck there. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I probably have had like 30, 40 terminal illnesses that I haven't given a name or form and have come and gone probably. I probably could have been dead 30, 40 times if I put my attention on it. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of shit. It's sort of like when you look at, I found it with alcohol. When I drank, I swear, I realized I had magnetic appeal to people in uniform. I attracted energy like that, just unbelievable. Not intentionally, but if I drank, put alcohol or drugs in me, suddenly it was like a dog whistle went out to people in uniform. Yeah, I saw that fucking level of communication. I didn't know how, I couldn't put my finger on it, but I knew something was going on because some of the fucking arrests were, you couldn't have made it up. Yeah. Yeah. So I knew there was a power, and that power would be much better used if directed by something else other than this head. I'm very clear about that. Now, I don't have any rote answer to it, but certain times I come and something wants to be pronounced to me and I don't fucking agree. I don't consent. I don't nod, and it comes and goes. Yes. I don't stop and do an inventory on it. I don't. I just come and go. Yes. And it's a way of living. It's sort of like you're in the ring with the bull, but you're not doing with the red fucking blanket. Yeah, only every once in a while you need that. Most of the time, you're just walking around in a ring with a bull. Yeah, there's no fucking event happening. Yeah. If you don't look at the bull doesn't look at you. Basically, yes. Yeah, don't wave anything at it or it's gonna come at you. Yeah, so after a while, to me, that's an aspect of traveling lighter. Yeah, things are driving all the time. You don't make yourself an attractive parking space. You just let the traffic go. Yes, you don't whistle. You don't, hey, come over here. No, you just let the traffic keep on rolling. Yes, yeah. Haven't you seen at these talks, people will have a question and they don't get it answered, and then they lose the question just through the talk? Yes, exactly. All right, hey, we have another one. Let's come on in, hon.
Hi, Corey. Come on in. Thank you,
Hi.
Tom.
Corey Alcoholic. This might be so similar share slash question, or share, I guess. But I'm on a trip overseas with visiting my husband's family, and we're here for a month. And I just noticed that I have a lot of shoulds going on. We should be doing more. We should be seeing more. I should want to be going out and seeing more of the country. And my kids should not be fighting and should be we should be having fun. And a lot of the days we're not, because they're always arguing and bickering. And so it feels like my mind is not letting me enjoy this trip, or I don't know. It's just,
You got the policeman on the beat up there.
yeah.
Yeah, you got the vacation police person. If you don't live this, you better come home with pictures of it.
Yeah, or I should be sharing the pictures, on the social media, and it's just
No, it's like the page. If only everyone did what I wanted them to do, the play would go well. Your kids, everything. They're not following the play.
like they'd rather be in the apartment sitting at.
How could they? How could they?
Know.
Yeah, it's written right in the book. You're in that event right now. Trying to manage the play, because you have an expectation. If everyone just did what you wanted them to do, it would go great. This delusion persists quite strongly. You're now having it wherever you are. There you go. You're not. It's having you, so to speak. Just tell the truth. Admit you can't get out of it. You can't stop it. Yeah. Turn it over to step 6 and 7 and see what happens. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Why not? I mean, it's a perfect description. It always happens. Yes. It always puts demands, doesn't it? When you're sitting, you should be standing. When you're standing, you should be sitting. It plays the whole scene. Yeah. Yeah. And then, go out. If they don't want to go out, you take a walk. Yeah. And maybe through example, they'll go with you tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just that internal struggle of I enjoy being quiet at night and being home, and my husband likes to go out with all his friends, and it's like, I should be wanting to go out because
Yeah. See, but I'm looking at you. There's nothing there to struggle with. You're sitting there. Your Marty isn't in any full Nelson or headlock, so it's up in the head, obviously, and we can't see it, but we can relate because we've had that monkey running around. Yeah. So
yeah, I think it just helps to have somebody say that's happened to me before, or that you're not alone.
Yeah. You got to expect it. I mean, it's got its vacation loop, once it gets it, once it recognizes, it's like a dog when you're bringing it to the vet. It starts realizing it's going to the vet and starts flipping out. The head as soon as it gets to the airport, the head starts vacation loop ready, and then it uses a few cues, and then it figures you're on vacation. Let's make loop. You should be doing a triathlon. Your kids should be learning the language. It's just the same old, same old. I know it feels so unique and personal, but it isn't really. Yeah.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost, you get so used to it. I mean, you're at the play before the play starts. You're the audience. So you can watch when it comes, stage left, you can watch it walk out. it's the vacation loop. And then you can, it's sort of like, I don't like the term, but they use it in spirituality, witness. You're witnessing it, you're observing it. And then you're observing the second part of the play is that it shouldn't be going the way the first part is saying it's going. So so you have, as you can see all the selves show up and they do their lines perfectly. They switch positions. But the play has never started without you, honey. You are the audience of awareness. Yeah, you are it. That is what the play is trying to manufacture consent from, is you. Yeah. It wants the attention and interest, and it's used to having it. Yeah. And like a kid who would throw a temper tantrum to get attention, it may throw a temper tantrum up there. Yeah, just don't act out. That's all. And there's a lot of value in seeing it, even though it feels uncomfortable. You start to recognize what you're not. And that's greater than hearing about it or reading about it. Seeing it in your own little event is much more valuable. So here you are, you're seeing it, you know. It's a typical vacation loop is running. Yeah. I feel for you, but I'm not on the vacation, so I can laugh, yeah, a little bit. Yeah. And you'll laugh soon too, right now. Yeah. Yeah. I know it tries to build up so much meaning, but it really, yeah. Have you left the country yet? No. I'm sure your husband's family is super happy seeing the kids and you. Your idea of going on in the head isn't their idea. They're probably happy as hell. They're going to be talking about this this visit for years on end. What country are you in?
I'm in Israel.
Israel, for sure. Yeah, you've just made their day.
Yeah, and I think it's like, finding the joys in like the simple moments of just visiting people and being in just in people's homes and eating the food. But like, to my mind, that's not enough. I need to be in like the city or in Jerusalem and seeing everything, which I've seen before because we've been here a bunch of times. But it's just that.
Yes, it doesn't have any rhyme and reason, honey. I'm telling you, it's just a vacation loop. It seems more authentic the first time, but it will run the same loop every time you go. It doesn't have an infinite amount of tapes. It just runs. Yeah, it could be Italy. Oh, hello. It could be Israel. It just does its thing.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
And the kids are really enjoying it because they don't have the vacation loop yet.
Yep. Nope. They could just be swimming in the pool and that would be enough.
There you go. Exactly. So, hey, what did they say? You learn a lot from the babes.
The kids, yeah, for sure. In the moment.
Yes, because the head isn't strong enough to pull them out usually. Yeah. Yeah. You have that ability. It's not an unsuspected inner resource anymore. Yeah. You have the ability. You did a perfect thing. You shared and then you had a laugh and you took a lot of wind out of its sails. Yeah. Yeah. So now you'll probably be laughing when you're at dinner when it's saying you should be having a bigger dinner or whatever it's going to say. You know what I mean? It's just there's going to be a loss of interest. And then instead of that space taking up all the space, you'll see that space from all the space. Yeah. Very important difference. Instead of having that space of the head filling up seemingly all the space, you'll see that little space from all the space. Yeah. I'm serious. This is what loss of interest does. Loss of interest makes something that seems really big smaller. That's what it does. Yeah. And then what is being least emphasized will get more emphasized, the space. Yeah. Yeah. Loss of interest is the key. Loss of interest in self. So it's not your vacation loop, it's a vacation loop. Yeah. Yeah. You're not the only one. Everyone hears them usually. And you can grow out of it because we grew into it. We grew into listening to this shit, and we can grow out of listening to this shit. Yeah. Yeah. It's the way it goes. Yes, yes. Beautiful. That's the beauty. You're not it. You've grown into it and you can outgrow it. That's the beauty. Yes. My foot, see, if your foot was hurting and it was because of the foot, it's much different if it's hurting because of the sneaker. Yeah. Because you have a clear recognition you're not the sneaker. So you can get a new sneaker and it may not hurt anymore. Yeah. But if you think it's the foot, then you're stuck, so to speak. Yeah. This is not you. You're not stuck. Yeah. Yeah. That's the good news. So have a great day doing nothing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. Anyone else? No?
There's no other hands up right now, Paul.
I have some, I keep telling David S. I'm going to talk to him, and I don't. All right. David, why don't you ask me a question a little bit right now about what you wanted me to talk about, and let's just talk. Hey, do you mind?
No, I think what I had sent to you was just being sure I was understanding the term you were using. And it was, I think it was when you said your head says something, tells you something, and I assumed that meant your
Mental process. Yeah.
channeling self, that it's the conduit for self. Is that, am I hearing that right?
Yes. Well, the head or the mental processes. There is no self. Yeah. Self is a conclusion that we live from, so to speak. It's selfing. So yeah, the head. And I call it, some groups would call it the relative mind, but I don't like to use the mind around it at all. I like mental processes. So one of the mental processes is selfing. And that selfing, if listened to in a certain way, we seem to arrive at an idea of being self. Yeah. And then that self gets established. And then now we're not in the act of becoming it, because that would be impossible. We are something already. We are already it. Yeah. Yes. So now, if there was two of us, it would lose. It makes itself all of us. And there's a forgetting of what we are in the ideation of this as what we're not. So that's the when I say the head or mental processes, I'm speaking about that. There is no self, there is no thing. We sometimes describe it as a thing, like a mental parasite or something, because of an allegiance to self in the big book. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. But truly it's an activity called selfing. Yeah. So the mental activity is inferring everything that it's concerned with to some idea of you as a doer, a thinker, a feeler, a taster, a toucher, and how that is remembered is by picturing it as a body. So you're thought about and you're remembered as a doer, not through the doing, but as a body. Yeah. You can't remember most of the doing 5 years ago, but you remember the doer as a body. Yeah. And this is the this is the reinforcement of this idea that selfing is implying. So, and we call it self in recovery, but it's that term I wouldn't use in an open forum. It would be selfing. Yeah. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Thank you.
Yeah. I use it self because of the parameters. A lot of people in recovery don't like to understand shit that's not presented as recovery. I've run into that many, many times. So you want to present ideas in the forum of recovery talk, but in a way, self does not capture it. Self is actually the product of the selfing. Basically, when people say, "Oh, I get the selfing, and I've been selfing all day." See, the feeling of being the one that's doing the selfing is the product of the selfing. Yeah, yeah. So that doesn't work. Oh yeah. So, and the words aren't, we're sloppy because it's more of an event that's getting communicated, us getting together. Yes. Like some kind of juice, and that juice it always spills over whatever glass you try to bring it with. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I like live meetings much more. If we write a book, I have to really go into writing and changing the words. In a live meeting, you don't have to change the words because they're not that meaningful. It's an energy. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. 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 So that's it, bro. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you know what happens, unfortunately or fortunately, people get in touch with me and then the rivers moves and then I get lost, because I don't have an allotted time to go over stuff. And I truly believe that they're going to get an answer in this forum that will take out us, because there's a quality I don't like about personal answering, really, and that's the personal quality. It's nice to see all this thing that needs an answer as impersonal, really. Yeah. I think part of the problem is it's like coated with like personal chocolate, so to speak. So we don't get to the nut. You're talking about why is the chocolate melting all the time? Yeah. Well, yeah. So, all right. Anyone else? If not, we'll call it a day, Mike. Hey, we're
Yeah.
going to be here again at 4:30 Pacific time. This is a good 1-2 punch. Tuesday, 1-2 punch. Not bad.
Love it.
Why is it Tuesday? I have no idea, but it is. All right, Michael, thank you. Thank you for the show today. Joseph. Joseph has moved, I would say down. He's in his living room area. Yes, all right. Nice to see you, Joseph. Rico, man of his word. Nice to see him. Kathy, as always, she's gobbling it up, Kathy. You are. I know. I can see it. It's going to be put to good use in you and others. Yeah. We got Tom in Denver. Now, Tom has been the information in the parentheses has changed a lot with Tom. Now it's Tom back to Denver. Yes, he's been a lot of places. Nina. Nina. I'm not going to talk to you about anything, Nina. I'm just going to let you stew in Sicily like a marinara sauce. Yeah. Mia, she's somewhere moving or somewhere. I don't know. Yes. Roman, as always. Nice to see you, my friend. Hey, Mia, those the biscottis are really primo. I'm going to have some right now. Sally Underwood, always participating, though her head doesn't think so. Jeffrey, Seattle. He's bringing eyes to people so they can see. Similar to this situation. John K. David S. Thank you. I got the looming guilt of not getting in touch with David removed. Much nicer. And I'm just going to use that as a collective removal for all the people I've disappointed by not getting in touch with them immediately. So it's all been erased. Yeah. Oliver, Berlin. Nice to see you, bro. Mark R. There he is. Corey, having a wonderful time, even though she may not think so, in Israel. Yeah. Falafels, yes. Hummus, yes. Oh, I like falafels. Yeah. Hey, if you do touch the wall for us, yeah. Yeah, please. Symbolically for everyone. Jacob in the Hudson Valley with Alex, I hope, around somewhere. Yes, there she is. Chris B in Mammoth Lakes. We're going to have a hot one here today. Rick Rowe, Toronto. Must be hot in Madeira, Michael, eh?
It is.
Yeah, we're going to get 91 or something today here.
Well, 107.
107. Jesus Christ. I feel much better that I'm not in Madeira.
Yeah. Hey, Paul, Miranda has her hand up.
Oh, all right, Miranda. Hey, this is real-time overtime or something. Go ahead, Miranda.
I'll be fast. I gotta go. I just got my hand up late. I just really wanted to say, like, this was so good today, and I'm going to share it broadly because it was so helpful, and it really kind of just stuck to. I've been talking to folks from this meeting who are really listening to Ramesh and reading Who Cares, and it, like, and also I just kind of got the message from the course about that God takes the last step. And I kind of think Ramesh just repeats that over and over again. And the fucking futility of trying to keep stepping. And I just am so, the action figure is so compelled to do that all the time right now, like to action. I think it's kind of a response to being put down by surgery, limited. Like, I want to do more now. And it's so fucking ridiculous. And I just need just that absolute reminder of just fucking stop, you know? So.
Also, honey, you go through seasons. Yeah. Sometimes the fruit's hanging low, then you pick them and then they're up and then you do something else. This will happen down. You'll see.
Yeah.
Rotations around the sun, the race changes.
Whatever.
Yeah. No, I'm serious. Yeah.
I feel you. Yeah. And it's just like the momentum, like to like the compulsion to kind of move and go. And also just like recognizing the fucking beauty in it. Like the energy that I have to share sometimes and and like sometimes, sometimes things seemingly kind of dry up.
What's happening?
Mm-hmm.
You got to start there. It's what's happening, so start there. So, yeah.
Well,
it's
great.
Starting at what's not happening. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
All right.
reminder. The looping, that was a really good reminder for me. I have my loop big.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yours, but there's loops. Yes.
Yeah. Right.
It's a finite box. It's not an infinite box of tapes. There's finite. Yeah.
I remember
very
that
finite.
all the time, Paul. I remember that all the time. Like you talking about how the energy just like exhausts itself. Like I've heard you do times.
Of course. Yeah. The thing is, finite and infinite are worlds apart. So, and we are of the infinite variety, having a seemingly going through a finite experience. Yeah. Now, if we're looking for the infinite in the finite, that can be corrected. So now you're looking from the infinite through the finite. That works. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Nice to
Thank
see you.
and thank you, Michael, Stacy. Love all you guys. I'm taking off.
All right. Good luck. Yes.
You.
Drive the speed limit, please. All right. All right, everyone. Oh, let me say goodbye. Joseph, we've got Rico, Tom, Roman, Sally, Jeffrey, Oliver, David, Mark, Corey, Jacob, Cassandra. Hey, nice to see her. Mickey, as always, Crispy, Mammoth Lake, Alex and Jacob. We got them. Thanks. I don't think I've any more there. Yeah, I think.